Welcome, gamers. We're going to be playing some SinTopia again. It's been a few weeks, or actually a bit longer than a few weeks now since I've actually been playing the game. It sort of stopped working for me because I was in the play test, but now I've got myself the actual pre-release version of the game. It's actually not the release version. Expect there to be bugs, so I can't actually live stream this one, but I can actually do the pre-recording. So I am continuing on. Well, not continuing on because with the new version, all of my what I had there, I had all these different cheats and things that they gave me for the playtest, where I could sort of do anything I liked. That's all gone. I've got to start from scratch, which is not a bad thing. I love this game. Anyway, thank you to Team 17 for sponsoring this video, so that's fantastic. And there is a link in the description and also in the chat. So if you are wanting to have a look at the game, if you sort of see, if what you see interests you, please go and wishlist it, because this is one of the most exciting releases I've come across for a long, long period of time, in where it combines different genres. You've got a God game on the world level, like where you actually don't directly influence the actual people. You don't move them around; they do their own thing. But you can influence them through spells and through, well, mainly just through spells, basically, where you actually sort of can do different things that either impress them and make them more sinful, which is what it's all about. It's SinTopia. It's you actually rule hell. In hell, you actually have a completely different thing. You can build all sorts of different hell buildings in there to process sins in different ways, which is how you then get the resources. We'll get into that as we start to play the game. Now, when I played it last time, I only had the challenges to show you. This is now more fleshed out, with a little bit more fleshed out than what it was. But we now actually have a campaign mode, which I'm in the default mode through here. So what my plan is to play a campaign version today, and so we'll actually sort of get into that one. And then we'll go into the challenge mode, which is really where I think the meat and potatoes of the game actually are. And so I've got just my default, like if you go into here, you can actually go and have up to 3 different profiles sort of running at any point in time. I'm 25% of the way through the campaign. The first, and I've only just done 2 missions. I'll show you. Actually, maybe I'll just start there. And, well, actually, no, because I'm going to be wanting to show you the scope. So, if you've watched my previous videos, you will have sort of seen, what actually happens. I did one video where I just let the game destroy itself, so you could see all the different elements that come in to actually affect you. Let's go and talk about those right now. If we go into the challenge mode, and so if I go into new mandate in through here, you end up getting random scenarios, which is one of the things I really love about this, is you end up getting random scenarios, and you have to then go and choose them. Now, you can re-roll, but it's going to cost you 250 of the prestige points back up through here. And these are what you use for controlling how you then go into and work out your challenges. So the challenges are not set in stone each time. They do randomize when you re-roll, so which is very, very cool. And initially, I think these first ones may be what you get. But anyway, what it has is, if I go and click on the question mark here, this will probably do a more succinct way of explaining it to you. So challenge mode. You're here to complete mandates for your divine employer and unlock boons while doing so. Got it. And so the mandates, this is a mandate that then comes through. First, you'll be presented 3 different mandates on 3 different maps. You have to pick one. Got it. Prestige points are in through here. Each mandate has different objectives for you to complete, each rewarding prestige points. So each of these, actually, so you've got your main objective, which is to earn heroes, which is one of the resources in the game. So 450 heroes is actually quite a lot. And to do this in the game, it'll sort of explain sort of how to do these. But heroes are coins that you get if you end up with somebody who has got such little sin by the time they resurrect that they are sort of almost saintly. And so you need to get 450 of these souls processed where they come through with very, very little sin. Otherwise, what happens is the souls go through hell or through all the intricate sort of management that you've set up for them, and then get back through the resurrection portal with whatever sins remain inside them. And it's up to you how you build hell to control that. And so in this case, earning the heroes, you got to process 450 different souls that are low enough level to generate the heroes, which is cool. In this one, the secondary objectives have a ruler alive for 10 days, which is actually quite hard. So that's actually something, and you get another 400 points in through there. Have different traits among employees. Employees. There's all these little plays on words. But these are your workers in hell. So they man the different buildings. So you're going to end up with a lot of them, and getting 15 traits among them is really, really easy. And just disturbing Humus at night. Humus are the humans on the above world, which you don't directly control. In this case, and so again, these are not what you get for every single one of them. This happens to be this one mandate. And so in this one here, you've got to wake a few of them up. If you don't wake them up, what they do is they copulate, and then they generate new souls during the night themselves. So this is how you get more and more Humus. Some of them resurrected, and some of them are generated new. All right, got it. You then end up with map modifiers, which change what actually happens. So all of the money through here is then multiplied through modifiers. In this case, this one here is going to be making lust more. It's a bit hard. There's an eggplant and a peach, which has sort of got the sexual connotations. Anyway, the modifier here is it's got a little downward arrow through there, showing that lust is going to be more prevalent in the world. So they're not the Humus are susceptible to lust. So in this case, you would then need to try to find ways to make it so that they become more lustful. If you then want to do more processing to sort of get more sins, to then accrue more elements, or to make them less lustful, if you're wanting them to essentially get to be able to generate more heroes. So depending on how you want to then process it, it's entirely up to you. But it's very, very cool the way it works. But that's going to multiply by 2 the difficulty of the prestige points. So that's what that one works. And as an additional layer, you can exchange the overall game difficulty in exchange for more or less prestige points, and that's sort of what we see down through the bottom there, which is a ×1. Click on the difficulty button, so this is this one up through here. And so you have different difficulty in through this other side as well. So there's 4 levels of difficulty, each altering gameplay parameters. It's recommended to play the game in normal mode and until you are familiar with the system. So you've got for example, easy, and through here we'll then make it sort of very, very simple. Purga dollars are the basic dollar thing that you end up getting. Faith coins are 100. This is actually the what you use for casting spells on the overworld. So purga dollars are what you use to spend in hell. So this is what you need to be building up your economy. The sins, the rule of corruption is at negative 50% on easy mode, and the gains throughout the whole Humu population is only negative 20, so they don't become as sinful as quickly. In the overworld, the enemy number is negative 15%. Now there's a lot of different enemies, and soul rot duration is plus 50. Extends the time for soul rot to occur. And this one, I'll just read this one out. When souls wander in the cemetery while waiting for the Reaper bus, they slowly rot in place. If the soul rot gets too high, the corpses start spreading disease, eventually turning into zombies. Now, zombies actually don't start off in the cemetery. They find a dead body somewhere on the map and bring it back to life. And so they infest that soul, and so it's that body, and they become zombies, and they then go and attack your Humus. It's really, really cool. I love it. That's in the overworld. In hell, and you'll see this when we go and look at the Sandbox, infernal corruption in through here. So this one here is souls naturally gain random sins in hell if they are not treated in buildings or waiting inside waiting lines. If the infernal corruption is higher, they generate sins quicker. And so in this case, they don't generate they've got negative 20 for doing that one. So if they're just slowly wandering around trying to be processed in different buildings, then they can pick up more sins that way. If there are waiting lines, then they will wait in the waiting line and they won't be affected. So again, it's interesting, really, really intricate the way the game actually works, but in a really fun way. And then upkeep cost is through here as well. This is actually the upkeep of the various buildings and the well, actually not so much the buildings, it's the actual employees that you have to do. Actually, cost of facilities and employees. So they're it's just going to save you some dollars. So normal just comes back down a little bit. Everything's sort of leveled out. Hard mode, things become much more difficult back in through here. So you've got these different areas to go with. I'll just confirm that one. I'll just give it on normal for now. And so these are the mandates. So we end up with these different mandates in through here. That middle one is the one that we just were looking at. And so you end up getting, like if you do choose these, you end up getting the, this many different prestige points, which you can then use for setting things up. Now, I will be wanting to play one of these as well, fully out. It'll probably be after the after the commission that I'm doing for Team 17 is actually finished. So I'll be sort of doing it on my own time. Oh, damn. I love this game, so I'm looking forward to it, to be honest. But I might be able to start it off in one of the... I've got a few different things I'm allowed to sort of do with them, so I'll see how I go. Anyway, we'll see how we go, but we'll definitely be doing that anyway, no matter what. So I'm really looking forward to being able to show that in all its glory. We did start one, but I couldn't finish it because of the playtest. Anyway, let's go back out. That is that's probably the main area you're ultimately going to be playing with the game, because there's 100% replay value when you play that. Like it's just amazing what actually happens. The Sandbox shows you why they have the replay. So let's just go back into this one and have a bit of a look to see the Sandbox. This is this shows you the scope of the game at this point in time. There may be more stuff coming, I don't know, but you've got different presets. Now the presets just affect how you structure your game. Now we remember with the mandates, you actually had like the world had to be chosen, the layout of the world in through here, the modifiers, and then the role models as well, which is something different again that you do play in the mandates. We didn't get to see that because we didn't we didn't start one of the mandates. But in these ones here, if I go into vanilla, it's just sort of got everything sort of stock standard. If I go into zombie apocalypse, it's going to have like a different preset for promoting zombie apocalypses. So you've got all these different things which will then just change the basic parameters into whatever you want. If I just go and start in vanilla, and then if I go back and click on world, these are the different worlds that we have open to us. We have small, medium, and large worlds, and we unlock these through the campaigns. So I don't know if we'll be able to get to unlock one with this first campaign we're going to be playing, but there is a reason to play the campaigns. And also just choose random, and we'll just go and choose one of the ones that you've already unlocked. Now, the way this works is they're not random maps, but they're also not set in stone. The procedural generation of the maps is the placement of the localities on the map. And so every map has got its own set of localities, both in Hell and also in the overworld, that can have monsters, can have resources, all sorts of stuff. So there's a whole range of things. So even if you play the same map, it's not the same map. It's going to be different every single time, which is great. Again, this game is so good for its procedural generation and for replay value. Very, very high replay value. So I'll just go to random and just go and click on confirm. So the world is an unknown world that we'll sort of do in through here, for example. This is the layout, which talks about that randomization of the elements on the actual map itself. So the topography of the map stays the same. The placement is different. And so we end up with resource nodes. And again, you can just pull these up, from maximum through to minimum and anything in between. The gameplay elements, so there will be other little things in through here as well. Gameplay elements, how likely are gameplay elements to appear in the overworld? And so you've got these different things. I don't even know really what they would be. I don't know what they are, to be honest. So there will be something in there. I can't remember what they actually refer to. Resource nodes are things where you might be able to build a farm, for example, or a fishing village, things like this. Now, this is the events distribution. What these do is these actually have a whole series of different things. Now, you've got Gwark camps and wargs. Gwark camps are the camps of the Gwarkers, who are the lizard men, and the lizard men will attack you at regular intervals. So you've got small, like 1-star Gwark camps, which are easy to kill off. You've got 2-star, which are harder, and then you've got the main sort of the one that really does sort of throw things at you, which is 3-star. And so you've got the probability of having these on the map. So again, if you're wanting to play a very peaceful game, you can actually just switch these off and not actually have to deal with them at all. So you can actually really structure the game however you like. Just be aware that you won't actually pick up, when you do play these, you're just playing for fun, so you're not going to get prestige points from playing these maps. The wargs are another thing that will attack you at a regular point. And so a 1-star, 2-star, 3-star. And so these actually, if you get too close to them, they will attack you as well. And so you need to destroy them. So eventually you'll end up with armies that will actually go out and root these things out and actually attack them. It's quite an intricate way that the armies do work. It's simple but intricate. It's very, very cool, again, the way it does work. We then have a whole lot of other things, like only, well, 6 others. Let's just go and bring them back a little bit. So we've got power shrines. Now, power shrines are regularly provide free spells to use, provided they're flagged by Humus rangers. So the Humus have rangers if they've got like rangers and soldiers are the 2 different types of fighters that they end up having. The rangers will go and scout things, and they're also a ranged attack. They've got a bow and arrow. If they scout these things out, you'll then start to pick up free spells to use in the overworld, as in the God game. Corruption stone in through here. This one here is corrupts Humus over time until they become deviants. They can be damaged and destroyed. So they can actually, when it says damaged and destroyed, you can do that yourself with your spell casting eventually. So again, you're going to have to use faith coins to sort of go and do that. But if you're finding that this is getting too much and causing too much problem, then you can actually destroy it. But again, you can turn them off if you don't like them. Deviants are a level of spells, a level of sin in a soul that is not able to be cleansed in a simple way. It's very, very cool. If you let deviants continue on for too long, they become demonic. So there's this whole progression. There's so many different progressions in the game. It's just an incredible game. Then we have noxious humunita. This is actually, these spew out toxic spores when nudged, and so these will actually kill off your population and also infect them. So just be aware that is again a problem. And again, you can just sort of will follow the wind direction and can be directed with force push, which is one of your spells. So you can actually push the spells. You can put the noxious elements either into Humus or away from Humus, depending on how you want to play the game. The Pillar of Atonement is sort of like an end-game crisis. And so what this one does here is Pillars of Atonement fill when sin is generated, eventually triggering apocalyptic atonement crises. And so this is sort of like something happens if you are spending too long trying to process the world. These things will actually end up really, really pushing hard, but it's a long way into the game before you start having to deal with these. Unguarded chests, when you actually do crack open, for example, war glares or walker camps, there'll be a chest left over that you actually then can go and get, where you pick up little rewards. They're not usually very good. They're usually just some faith coins or something like that you'll pick up, or heroes, whatever it might be, in the actual chests themselves. But you do get a reward for destroying sort of like the negative things on the overworld. Then you have physicalized clutter. These are what you can then use your spells with to push them either into Humus, to kill the Humus, or push them into wargs, or walkers, or warg lairs, whatever it might be, to destroy the lairs. So you end up with all this clutter around the place. And again, you've just got the probability. So this is actually in the overworld. In Hell, you have a whole lot of other different sets of parameters as well. Like you've got lava rivers, you've got bridges density. So some of the rivers will have bridges over them, some of them won't. And again, this is where it's great. The layout stays the same, but the positioning of things is random, which means that its replay value is just through the ceiling of this game. More gameplay elements back and through there. Layout constraints, so respect to elements per tile rules. So in this case, by default, some gameplay elements can only be placed in areas further away from Hell Plaza and won't be found in closer areas. Example, confined blind seer. Uncheck this rule to remove this limitation. So that means you could end up with random stuff all over the place, which gives you either negatives or opportunities. So opportunities or threats, depending on what you're doing. Obstacles was just get in the way of you building. Lava pools will also sort of get in the way of you building, but increases fear around them. Fear is good. It pushes the souls around quickly. So having fear is actually a good thing in Hell. Super administrative black hole. This one here is reduces the upkeep of buildings and employees in its area. The Purgatiles field in through here as well. This one is a processor, so souls working on Purgatiles earn you Purga dollars. So this is actually, you want to have roads snaking around all through here to sort of get things happening. This is a confined blind seer. And so in this case, offers requests which must be filled with specific souls in exchange for reward chests. So there we go. So just little extras all the way through and all randomly placed. Obsidian field through here blocks the construction of buildings, but roads can go through them. Abducting pit. This one here is abducting pits have a small chance to avoid souls walking nearby. So if you have a soul, you probably want to avoid these because you want, unless you have someone that is so deviant, you may want to sort of get all the really deviant sort of snaking off and walking close around these abducting pits just so that they don't become demons, like things like that. It's, again, very, very cool. And you've got all this control in the game, which you'll see when we get into it. Leprechaun stash in through here as well. So this here is a stash increases the amount of Purga dollars earned by buildings in its area. Corrupt tiles field. This souls working on corrupt tiles gain sins. So again, if you're trying to go for something where you're trying to process things, you could actually end up with a loop of souls that never really get out of hell, that just keep on getting more and more sins, depending on what's going on. Derelict buildings back in through here. Come for free with their hell expansion, and they can't be destroyed or moved. Okay, so these are something that we end up getting. Not sure exactly how I've never come across one of them yet. So that's the layout. Again, very, very cool, where you've got the topology of the map is consistent, but all this random stuff then gets put into it, and so it feels different every single time you play it. When I was testing it, I was trying to figure it because it didn't have all this exposed, so I couldn't figure out if it was random or not, which bits were random, because every time I would go into a different map, it would be a different layout. And it was, so it was confusing me, but now I understand why. It's because of the way that all this has been structured. Let's just go next. This is your modifiers. And so these, you've either got things that will make things positive, like, and this is actually the sins, for example. You've also got the Humus, where you've got sort of like, this is that lust one that we saw there before, frigid Humus. Actually, that's their fertility goes down. Sorry, it's they're not their lust. This is actually the one that, there's nothing that brings the lust down. So lust is going to, what do we got? We've got pride, sloth, envy, lust, there it is there, wrath, gluttony, greed, a sinful world. So this is just generally is going to be increasing sins, and this is a diabolical corruption. We're saying souls gain 50% more sins due to infernal corruption. So different sorts of things in through there as well. These are just different things that make their health go down or whatever it might be. Hostiles, this makes the war camps and the walkers and the wolves and the demons. So all sorts of different stuff. There's the sin spawns, which actually come from the demonic lords. All sorts of stuff. The evil dead, this is zombies, are going to be sort of more prevalent with what they do. They're going to be more resistant to magic, more resistant to damage, for example. So all these things completely change the complexion of the world that you're going to be playing in. In Hell itself, you've got all these different land speculation areas. You can make things easier or more difficult for yourself as well, depending on actually how things go. And then chaos in through here as well. Ancient diseases, wildfire seasons, etc., etc. So it's a real God game, but with a with real purpose, and that's unusual for a God game. Like, God games just often don't have a real clear structure as to what you're trying to achieve. But anyway, that's the modifiers. Just go next into the role models. Now, these you can see are locked at this point in time. We have to unlock these, which is interesting actually, because it was unlocked at one point. And so we actually have Mammon, Satan, Lily, and then we have a whole lot of different other guys that will actually be unlocked. When do we need to unlock it? Not sure actually. Not sure how we sort of unlock those. Anyway, these end up, you've got there's a different demon, or like demon lord in hell, that will give you different bonuses depending on what they are. So Mammon is about greed. Satan is going to be about wrath. Lily is going to be about lust, for example. And then you've got, so that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's your 7 demons. And you've also got like an angelic figure, Gabriel, who I think is the last one, who comes in to actually sort of goes and helps you play the opposite, where you actually play as someone that's promoting goodness. So you actually have ultimately you have a lot of different ways of playing the game. Anyway, let's confirm. Let's go next. Actually, I think we're now back around to the world again. Yeah, so I'll just go and confirm that. So that's actually sort of, so we can structure exactly how we want to play that. I thought I'd show that to show you the scope of the game, because that'll then make, when we play the game, make a lot more sense. Now, there are presets as well. Let's just go back out, because we're going to be playing that right now. So we've spent half an hour basically just going through the scope of what the game brings, which is super, super exciting. And that's what I know that you guys want me to just get into gameplay, but I think at least if you're on the fence about whether you think this game is going to be worth it or not, at least you can see the scope for replay value. It's not just mission after mission after mission of the same stuff, and you play it through once and you may get another playthrough again, but this is a forever game. This is a game that's always going to have like a different way of playing it. The amount of generated content, it makes it infinite. It's an infinite game. Let's go to the campaign. Now I'm playing in my default. Right, so what we're going to be doing is we are going to be moving into the campaign mode now and sort of going through essentially the way that the story works. Now, when you start the campaign, there is boot camp, which gives you through the basic steps of how to sort of work in both hell and the overworld. It's actually, these are worth doing for your first run. Then you've got the first job in through here as well, which is again just explains a little bit more about processing the humus for getting the sins sort of cleansed from them. And then we're going to do the first one, which is called the snag. So let's just go in and click on this one here. I'll play it on normal mode. You may want to play it on easy mode if you're wanting to quickly get the unlock, so you can go back and play the mandates. But we'll just start this mission on normal. There's a Gawker. There's a lot of talking in the game, like a hell of a lot, even more than me.
Completing our onboarding program.
You press enter to get past all this.
In
the meantime,
yes.
It's nice, but it's just not for recording.
It seems in Lily.
me? I
Don't play dumb with
They're talking about corruption stones.
Well, administrator plus.
So just pressing enter will get you past all that. These are your helpers during your runs in the game, whether it be random or whatever it might be. Lily is your main helper through the game, so she's also the demon of lust, but she also will come through and actually, if you are screwing something up, she'll come back and say, hey, you didn't look at this or you didn't look at that, which is actually good. Gabriel, I think this is Gabriel, or no, this might be St. Peter or God, I don't know. Anyway, this is the administrator. Must be St. Peter, I guess. Anyway, he is he's sort of like in charge of the whole operation of both hell and the overworld. And then you've got 3 imp sort of employees here, which are advisors for other things when you're actually in hell. So we've got different advisors for different types of things, and when they're doing this, they have little things that they may want to say to you, which we don't need to look at. So the snag. So with your training successfully completed, you can start working on a new world and set it up its hell, while the chairman finishes the paperwork to make your position permanent. This should go without a hitch. So our goals, much like the mandates, we've got support the Humus development, set up this world's hell, and keep an eye on the corruption stone, which is something that I haven't played with before, so this could be interesting. So starting resources, we've got 9,000 purga dollars, which we spend in hell, and we have 70 humus, which start on the overworld. Let's get started. This is our world.
See what this corruption stone is all about.
So with the game, we've got the that's hell down through there, which we have to go and set up to process the humus. But we have to know what we're dealing with first. So we need to start in the overworld. So give us a little bit of a tour through the overworld. Beautiful, beautiful. There's some of those special little spell casting things, which would be fantastic. And there's the main village with all the different areas.
They built their town around it.
It's the corruption stone, which gives this one's greed, that little sin.
Into insane deviance. All right, I've seen enough.
Maybe we should Blow it up?
Absolutely not. Lou is a treacherous bastard. It could be booby-trapped. Let's study it first. Until we know what we're dealing with, you guys will have to handle that the old-fashioned way. Punish the hell out of them.
Alrighty then. Let me gather the crew and we'll get right to it.
So with the corruption stone, we're going to have to process the sins very, very effectively. So I'm going to pause this. Oh, hang on.
Lily hasn't told you what happened with your predecessor, right? I'm not surprised. She can't be too proud about it. Well, to put it plainly, Lou tried to overthrow me. Fortunately, Lily betrayed his trust and snitched on him. That's why I didn't exile her alongside him. And yet, I'm still not entirely sure I can trust her. So be careful around our favorite succubus. Don't let her sultry words get into your head or in your pants.
It's got a nice...
She's back.
It is funny. It's a funny game.
Crew is gathered and we're ready to follow your lead, Administrator.
I will leave you all to it, while I finish the paperwork to get our administrator permanently appointed.
Right, well, let's sort of pretend that this is like, if you haven't watched any of the other videos, then we won't have to pretend. But let's just start right from the very, very start and just go through the way that the game is played. This is the overworld. I can sort of zoom out a little way, and if I zoom all the way out, I end up going back out to this area through here. So let's just go back in and have a bit of a look to see. In fact, can we see anything from here? This is the main temple. If we lose the temple, we lose the game. Essentially, that's when the game is ended. There'll be all sorts of different forces trying to destroy the temple, including Gwarkers, Wargs, and also the deviants. So if the demon lords become too prevalent on the surface, they will send hordes of minions in to destroy the town, but also the temple. So the temple is really the final stage. We can sort of look around the world from the outside. There's going to be, that's probably a Gwar camp there, I would guess. In that little valley. Can't see too much else around there. There's something else in there, for example, that looks to be like a warg lair, as an example. But we can have a look at that more in depth as we sort of, if I go and click on this one, I can just zoom back in. So I've got the game paused, so we can sort of then talk a little bit about what's going on. The temple is really where everything happens, and again, if you do the, I'll sort of explain everything so we can just go through it. But this is essentially the where most of the action will take place in terms of your own management of the game. There's a lot of stuff that actually happens in here. This little park in the middle here is where the ruler will then go and associate. When a new ruler is selected, there's like a scepter, which is actually in this crystal, and they'll go and pull the scepter out. The king or queen, actually, who is it? This one here is Hildebert Smartgaze, is the actual king. And we can see there, we've got very, very low sins in through this other side, but we'll find out other information about the actual leader very, very soon. So the leaders have a big, big bearing on the way the game is pushed. Now, if I don't like a leader, I can kill a leader off using, in this case, I've only got one spell at this stage, which is called Force Push. And so with that, I can actually then go and create like a wave of force, which can then push Humus around. It wouldn't be enough to even pushing him into, like, getting him into the air and smacking against the rocks isn't going to be enough to kill him usually. It's going to take a little bit of work. He's also got 37 health, so he's quite strong with what he is actually doing it in through there. So the rulers will then sort of dictate what goes on in the game. So let's actually maybe look at them now. So this little area here is the open ruler menu. So let's just go and click on that one. And we can then sort of see the king is an anxious patriot back into here. This is their personality back on in this different side. So the ruler's personality determines the priorities of lifespans to assign and buildings to build. It also gives a sin vulnerability to the whole population. So what we end up having is these priorities. And so we end up with, in fact, there's another tooltip there. What's what I'm going to do? Specific life path the ruler wants. And so he's going to be promoting soldiers. So he wants to have soldiers, and he also wants to promote doctors. So there's mainly promoting soldiers a little bit with doctors in through this other side. And so, and again, doctors will do different things. So they visit damaged humus to heal them, cure diseases, and bury the dead. Doctors gain pride when working, with occasional bursts when healing. So they also gain sloth when waiting for a task. So if they've got nothing to do, they become slothful. If they're doing their work, they become prideful. So these are all sins, of course. The soldiers will have a different sort of path. These form war bands to conquer targets spotted by rangers and defend the civilization against threats. They earn experience when killing hostiles and can become veterans or champions. They also gain sloth when waiting for a task, and they gain wrath when witnessing death. So they've got different sorts of sins that will then accrue. Over through here are things that the ruler will sort of neglect to do. And so we've got things in here, for example, priests. It won't bring priests out. It won't bring out merchants, and it won't bring out as many builders. So this is going to be a problem for us, essentially, when these guys, they can douse fire, construct buildings, repair damaged ones. So they'll be building more slowly with this particular ruler. And so the effects on Humus is galvanizes soldiers, reinforce barracks, and warmongering. The different things it will then go and do. So there's actually less resistance to wrath, so we can expect wrath sin to be fairly high with what does go on ultimately. So ordered buildings, we've got like different things into here. So ordered buildings, we've got this section displays when the last building the current ruler ordered it to build, which once they have intended to order the next. Now the buildings he's likely to go and order will be the actual barracks, the reinforced barracks. So this will be a building that we should sort of see come into here at some point. Anyway, that's the king. And we can sort of see through here, this is actually the warmongering is the one that's going to be then going and doing it. So at the moment we have less resistance to wrath with our citizens because of the ruler. Again, such a great little mechanic. And we can actually then just go straight to the ruler, select the ruler to see what the ruler is actually up to. So King Hildebert is essentially just doing that one through there. We'll leave him to his own devices for a little while and just sort of see how things develop. But if things become too unbalanced, we can just kill him off and have another ruler come and step in and see what else they bring. This over through here is sort of like full of peaches, and this is actually where the after a lustful night, the Humus will then actually go and make more babies and sort of populate the overworld with more. Over through here is actually the resurrection sort of portal, and this is actually where the souls from hell will come back out of hell. I don't know if we can see down into hell. Don't know if it's actually the actual hell that we've got underneath there. But anyway, that's the this is the resurrection area for hell underneath through that side. So as the sins are processed, they'll then come back out of here and arrive on this area. Behind this, we end up with another small area back in through here where cultists will do their work. And so we can actually have cultists working sort of for us. So they're sort of doing different things. And they actually put their treasures in here, which give us bonuses as well. So we can actually sort of work from behind the temple, away from the prying eyes of the citizenry back in the actual game itself. So there's a corruption stone back through there. I don't know if it'll actually show us corruption stone. So corrupts random Humus until they become deviants, triggers a worldwide sin burst when damaged, throw stuff at it to destroy it. So to destroy it, we'd have to sort of then go and do it. Now that is promoting. Looks like we've got a guy here. This one here is the one that it's actually doing, and so this one is the target of it at the moment. If we go and have a look at this particular unit, this is Galathea Rum, and we can see already she's actually from Lust. She has actually now hit the top lustful area, so we're going to have to deal with her when she dies. She's only got 5 hit points, so she's going to die pretty damn quickly. What happens when Humus die is that they then get sent to the cemetery. Where is that? Let's just find that one. Should be there. It is. The cemetery has already got some souls in it, so it's got 3 of 5. We can process 5 souls at a time, and so these are just going to be wandering around in the cemetery, waiting for the soul bus to arrive. And the soul bus will come. What's that one there? Next bus. 1 second. So it's going to be arriving very, very soon. So it's going to be coming and picking these up and then taking them to hell. Well, let's just unpause. Here it comes, right on cue. That would just happen to be luck. We did it right there. it then comes in, and these 3 souls will now get on board the Reaper bus and then sort of be taken to hell. So let's go to hell now when it just takes off, and we'll watch them arrive. I'll click on this to go and switch the game view to hell. Alright, we've got one more left back in through there. This is actually now in hell. Here comes the same bus. It's got 3 souls on board, so somebody else just got dropped off in the cemetery just before this one took off. We gain Purgadollars when these are delivered to hell, but there's nothing that they can do just yet because hell is a blank landscape, and so there's the various 3. They're just now waiting, and so now we have to set hell up. So I can just pause the game. By the way, there is a day-night cycle, so there's sort of like the dawn events. So at dawn, newcomers spawn in the temple, and upkeep is automatically paid. Upkeep in hell, that is. Then we've got the noon events. So at noon, Humus eat if there's enough food in the stockpiles. Humus who can't eat develop an unhealthy relation to food, gaining a burst of gluttony and losing maximum health. So again, all these different sins have to be dealt with in different ways. Then finally, we have dusk events, and the dusk events, Humus go back to Shaboink and contribute to the next day's birth rate. So they go back home and copulate. So soldiers and rangers don't go home at night, while cultists start their elected night activity. So we've got all these different tiers of society which actually do all sorts of weird and wonderful things on the overworld, but we don't directly influence them, but we can push them into different directions depending on what we do in hell and also with our spell casting. And also with that, like, if we decide, okay, that ruler I like because it's going to do X, Y, or Z, that's going to be interesting. So we have some interesting things going on. We have one deviant. This is the sinometer. And if we go and click on that one through there, we can see that there is actually one deviant. Actually, we've got a deviant there for envy. I thought it was going to be lust. So, but we do actually, saying that we've got one. If we go and have a look through the deviants, this was the first one that was selected. This is one of our rangers. This one here has got 25 health, so we don't have to worry about him so much just yet. The other one is being processed up to have lust. So we're going to have to deal with all of the sins in this particular run through. Let's just go back down to hell again. So so these are things we have to keep an eye on. Again, it's very, very cool the way the game sort of does play things up. These here are our cultists, so we don't have any at this stage. Eventually we'll get some. I don't think that is. This one here is the souls in the cemetery. This one here is the souls in hell. We've got 3 souls in hell. And so we need to process them. And there's all sorts of different ways. The tutorial will get you started with this. It'll just sort of start to tell you what's going on. By the way, that's the where souls in the cemetery are dropped off by the Reaper bus, back through there. I'll just keep on sort of going through the way this one does work, and then we'll start to introduce it. We can build different things in hell. We've got different buildings. So we start off with a few different things. We've got soul punishment buildings. We've got an Omnisin Doctor for 1,000. I've got 9,000 to spend, or 9,300 now. So we've got Omnisin Doctor. This building punishes souls, removing a small amount of random sins and earning Purgadollars. It cannot punish deviant souls. So anything above 50% in any sort of sin is not going to be punished by this particular building. So it's and then the enviologist in through here. So this building punishes souls, reducing a great amount of envy, and which is exactly the one that we do have a current deviant with, and earning Purgadollars. It can punish envy deviants and may break their deviancy. So this one will specifically target a particular sin. So we have to then separate the souls into where they're most sinful and how things are actually then going and working. The upkeep on that one there is 750 and does require like a different type of imp. This one here is 500 upkeep, and again it's going to be generating every 50 seconds. We end up removing 25 sin points from somebody and generating 250. So this is actually going to be the main way that we sort of do most of the work, with specialist buildings then coming back in with everything else. So we probably, and again, we can do different things in hell. Let's have a look at the actual landscape of hell to see what we have. We've only got a very small hell area. So we've only got like a smallish area to play with in this particular map. We do have this obsidian, which I can build roads through. Where's the bridge? I don't actually have a bridge through hell, which is interesting. I've only got this one bridge here and back here. So I don't know if this is random. This would be an interesting one to start again to see if that was actually random bridges. I've only got 2 bridges. Would have been handy to have a bridge over here, but we don't have it. So ultimately, we're going to need to push our guys around. We can end up buying this for 5,000. So the best view in hell, which will then sort of give us more areas for processing. This one here is like a little area again that the Purgatiles filled, which will give me a little bit of extra Purgadollars if souls are walking around on that. We can over through here. What do we have? This is a ruin, I think. Not sure what that one does. And more areas there. We can only put roads through. This is another ruin. This is interesting, actually, really interesting. 5,000 again to unlock that one there, which we don't want to do just yet. We've got another zone in through here again with some more little buildings. It's got 2 different buildings in there. What is this one? Hell expansion. So this this is for sale for 5,000, but we do end up with these different buildings. Now that one there, if I just come back with it, I'm not sure what that one actually is. And I'm not sure what that looks like. They're both the same type of building there. Oh, these are Omnisyn Doctors. So if I bought this, I get these, I think, for free. I think that's how that one works. So can we see what the others actually are? I don't know what that building is. It's Ooh La La Dreams. I've got no idea what that actually is. And this building back in through here. God, this is a good game. I mean, it's sort of interesting because it's also like, I'm assuming these are random. But they certainly are random in the other games. There's nothing else hidden back there. So eventually we're going to have to. This is going to take us a bit of time. We'll probably end up needing to spend a few sessions with this to get this one sort of built. So this is actually not a quick. I thought it was going to be a quick little mission, but it's actually not. This is going to be a bit more. Now, with the souls, we're going to have to start the process, and we've got limited areas. I'm going to be wanting to split my souls off into deviants from non-deviants. Let's do the non-deviants up this way, and the deviants down this way, where we can start to push them out, I guess. We can always change the layouts. It just costs me Purgadollars to move things around, that's all. So I'm just going to go in and start to build a road network. So we'll just go to logistics. Now I've got roads, and I've got different types of roads. I've got soul roads, which is where the souls then sort of walk. I've got crossings where they can actually cross over different roads, which we'll have to use eventually. We've got imp roads, which only imps walk on, which are our employees. And we've got waiting lines, which we do want to be using. This is where they don't accrue different sins while they're actually waiting in a waiting line, but it does still cost me a little bit to actually have those going there. These cost me 10 to actually go and get one of these. Let's just go out a little bit into here, and let's split things here so we end up with the deviants going this way, and the souls for processing running down this way. So what we want to do here is actually say to the game, hey, if you're a deviant, turn left. So we'll just go back across into the processing. This next one over here is actually going to go and get the souls dispatcher. So souls dispatcher can separate souls across 3 exits according to custom criteria. Souls matching no criteria sent to the fallback exit. Now we could actually just, if their sins aren't strong enough, we could just push them straight back into the world and not worry about even processing them. So we have all these different processes we can then go and do. Let's just go to the soul dispatcher. You can see there that it comes in and it then goes off into 3 different areas. So I'm going to place that one there to start with. Then we have to go in and if we have a look at it, we've got the entry, we've got A, B, and C to actually sort of bring this one around. And so depending on what actually happens in this one, so this is a little bit like, I guess, Roller Coaster Tycoon to a degree, or any of those sorts of tycoon games. I just love the way the interaction with the actual game, the way it does work. When we click on a soul dispatcher, and we're going to be using these a lot, we've then got different sorts of ways we then have to go and deal with things. So if we go with the, we've got the, so we need to create rules in through this other side. So we've got these are the rules for A, B, and C. So A, we want to have a set of rules. If I just go back into the summary, this is what we saw there before. For A, I can just go and create a rule for just A or C, back and through there. But really, all we're going to do is we're going to say, look, if you get past, if you're not a deviant, just turn to the right. So so we're going to set up like I'll just go back to the rules themselves. So the fallback exit for us, if none of the rules are actually selected, I just want the rest of them just go on C. So C is going to be the default, which means I don't have to tell it to do anything. So we're just going to go and set up one for A. Go and click on it, and so now we can set up like all sorts of different parameters. Like it's like an AND gate or an OR gate. If you've played Minecraft, you'll sort of be familiar with those. So this is the same sort of thing where you just tell it, if you're going to do this, go down this track. And so we've got different things, like we've got statuses, for example. So we've got Humus statuses, we've got sin values as well. So either one of these would actually be fine. But if I go to statuses, that's probably going to be the one. I also have cycles count, like how many, I guess this is when a soul is resurrected, completes a cycle. So if it hits certain numbers, we can do different things in through there. Influence, down through here as well, checks the influence value of a soul. Let's just go to statuses and start with here. And so the status of a Humu, if it is equal to hero ability, heroisable, which means if its sin level is low, it will currently go down. Let's go and change what it's looking at. So we're going to go and change this one from, so we actually have if it's a deviant, which is what we want. So when a sin reaches 50, a Humus turns into a deviant. So that's the one we do want. We can see there is a locked sin. Sins can be locked through a use of the Synchron facility, which we don't have. This status is true. Yeah, that would be on through there. We've got a believer. So above 50 influence, Humus are believers, which drop faith coins offerings behind the temple. These are essentially your cultists, I think. No, there's a cultist there. Believer is different again. So the cultists in through here, so if it's above 75 influence, Humus are cultists, which perform specific activities at night. Then we actually have saints. These are, with low sinometers, have a small chance of becoming saints when resurrected. It would be good to get a few of those as well. So we'll try to get those. And heroes are the one that we have. But we want this one to be deviants. If you are a deviant, and we can have particular types of deviants. So we've actually got if the Humu that enters this area is a deviant in any of the sins. So I can just go and select either a specific one or any of them. I'm just going to keep that one on all. Apply, and that's it. So nice and simple. So that has now got so any deviant is now going to turn to the left. Everyone else is going to turn to the right. We could have another one where we actually go straight ahead if their sins are so low that they're going to generate hero dollars. Now, by the time they get to the exit, they may have already accrued some sins, but maybe that's still worth a bit of a shot. Maybe we'll do that differently. We'll do it in a different location. Okay, so that's sort of now all we need to go and do. So that little gate, I hope that makes sense, but then we've now sort of got them going off in different directions. Now we're going to be wanting to process the various sins in this region, and we're going to run out of space. So let's not do anything here just yet. So we'll wait until we actually get some deviants coming in, and then we'll actually sort of process this area when we see that happen. So let's just go to the general areas first. And so what we want to do through here is actually just get the Omni-Sin doctors, they're the basic sort of way of doing things. And I probably want to have these just come through. I'll just put down a general road. You do get a bit of a bonus back, so you might as well just plan things up. But I'm going to go and push it to here to start with, and then we'll go off and branch off into the different Omni-Sin doctors. I might bring them all down in here to start with, I think, or maybe we go a little bit more specialized down that way eventually. Yeah, let's just go and build some. So let's just go back into the actual buildings themselves. So the first one for soul punishment. So we've got soul punishment, we've got soul processing. So these are waiting booths, which we will be wanting to go and do. Hell Puppet Show. This is actually one where this building treats souls and generates a small amount of faith coins with each work cycle. So we can actually just have some souls go and do this, which may be, again, a good one for us to, it's 1,000 to go and get these. Faith coins are what we use for spell casting on the overworld. If we start to run into faith coins, I will actually go and make use of these. And we get a few of these Hell Puppet Shows. They don't process sins. So that's sort of what they end up doing. But the waiting booth, we will make use of, and then health facilities. We do have a restroom for our workers as well, which will actually then make them work a bit more effectively. So we'll be wanting to set that up as well. But let's go to soul punishment in here. The Omni-Sin doctors. I can press Q and E to sort of rotate these around. So what I'll do is I'll have them so that the waiting list is from here, and then we'll then sort of go off to each of the OmniSyn doctors. So I'll go and throw them a little bit off here. I think I'll just sort of go and structure these. I think we'll do it this way. I'll get at least 2 of them, I think. I'll keep them right next to each other. I've got a bit of space, so maybe I don't need to be as stringent with this. And we'll just go and build more roads back down this other side. So Soul Road, it's going to go there and into there. And I'm going to split this one into here and into there. Now, if I leave it the way it currently is, one soul will go this way automatically and go into this one. The next soul will go this way and into this one, and then the next soul will go into this way and just wait until it's like in this location. I prefer them to be waiting at waiting lists until this is all sort of ready to go. So let's go and build a waiting queue here. So we'll just go back into the waiting line, and we're going to start there actually and work our way. Is that the right order? That's where we want that to go. So they're going to be coming in. Yep, so they're going to be coming into that location there. So that's the waiting queue, but I need to have a booth at the end of it. Now this is probably not going to be long enough. I don't know if I can actually do more than that. Yeah, I can. So that's going to be my waiting. That's going to be the waiting area where they're going to be sitting along here, and we just go back into construction again, and we'll have a look at the soul processing, and we have the waiting booth in here for 500. And so this building makes souls wait in an orderly fashion, protecting them against infernal corruption. So it's going to keep them a little bit there, and so that's just going to have to be sort of like on the end of this one through here. And you see there it's costing me 25 less because I've spent already 25 on the actual waiting list, on the queue itself. So we now actually have a processing area for the souls to then go and wait, but we need to, of course, now get a few different workers in here. To finish this one off, we're then going to have to just sort of complete the picture here with roads. I think I'll actually just build a little bit more down this way. I'll just go a few down this side. And we're going to have to then go all the way to back to the resurrection portal. So now this one here is going to give me purga dollars if I meander through here. So let's go and do that. Oops, I didn't need to do that last one. I will just go and remove this one. In fact, I've screwed up a few things in through here. The toolbox, we'll just go and destroy that one. You do have to make sure everything sort of does work, like that one there is a block. So that one's going to be continuing. This will earn me some purga dollars as they walk through that. So I'm just making them walk through there a little bit more stringently. Again, getting that would actually allow me to pick up a bridge, which would get me a little bit faster in there, but let's just keep on going the way that we are. And I don't know if this, I'll go all the way across to here, all the way up. Oh, hang on. When they're next to lava, it makes them want to, they get a bit fearful. So I probably want to get rid of all of that. I'll just go and get the all of this back here again, down to, I think, about there. So we'll take our money back. When we unpause, I think we only get half back after that. Oh, hang on, we can do all of this. There we go. That's a much better path. So it goes all the way along there until we get to there. Okay. So that's going to speed them up as they walk along here. Let's just go and remove those again as well. So the road is consistent after they get out of those Omnisin doctors. They will speed up along here. That will make them fearful, being near that lava. Soul Road, back down this way. Go any further? No. I want to hug this because this will get the souls walking really fast. Let's just do it basically at the start, and then we'll start to finesse it a little bit. I really can't do much else there. So then we'll come sort of straight into the processing. There we are. We're down to 4,800, so I've still got a bit more that I can spend. So when they get to the lava, they will then sort of speed things up. We have other things we can do to also speed them up as they go along these different areas. So we've got, for example, these are fear buildings, which we don't have any, and yeah, so we've got different things we can do, but we haven't unlocked any of those just yet. Cosmetic props just cost you money, which we don't need to know about. All right, so that's sort of initially that's all we need to then be going and doing. I can, if I'm wanting to, cycle things back in so that they come back in if they're not processed enough. But let's just get things working initially, and then we'll sort of finesse as we go. So with this one here, we'll go and go now to our. This is the management. This is actually where we can then go and bring different units in. Now, who do we need? If we have a bit of a look at the group. So in this case here, we need no employee assigned in through this other side. So we're going to be needing you've got info and summary there. There's nothing much there. Info, Punisher Souls. So it'll then give us stats on the actual building itself. We'll just go back to the summary and through this other side. So we just need to have basic workers in through here as well. We need employees back in here as well. So if I get it wrong with the employees, they then go into like a waiting list. Each employee has its own personality, and we have to sort of manage those as well. So, for example, Joseph Manic is actually he's agoraphobic, he's a tier 1, so he's less break time, so he's a good guy to have on board. It costs a little bit more to hire him. He cost me 160 per day, essentially, the daily dollars cost, which is less than these others. He has a work time of 3 minutes, and then he has his breaks. Work speed is 100%. This one here takes less. He's got less work time, costs more. This one here is a deviant hater, so plus 5 purge from the highest sin when treating deviant souls. So if he's actually working in the other building, he's going to do more. He's going to do a better job. So I might save him for the other one. This one here is a slowpoke. Reduces this imp's wage by 10%, saves 17 per day, but his movement speed is slow. He still works for 2 minutes, costs a bit less in through there, and in this case, yeah, work speed itself though is 100%. So he's actually okay. So I'll put both of these in and keep Taylor maybe for one of the other buildings later on, if we can. If we run out of all of them, we then sort of go through. Now these are. We also then have these guys are different again. These can't be used in the same buildings, but these sad imps here are the ones that we actually use for this sort of job. I think that's the one that we use. If I just go back through and click on those. Yep, so he's now working in there. We'll just go back again to the management. And so we've got William Divorce. And so they work in those. So they're now, those buildings are now sort of set up, and we just need somebody now in this other location. So she will now work in there. And if we go across into what she's doing, and so she is a secretary imp. I don't know if it shows us that again with what we need to have. Yes, you can see there's it's like it comes up with a little symbol. If I sort of zoom in, a secretary in through there with what she ends up doing. So she just processes the queue, and so we go and we need one of her as well. So these are a bit cheaper. Selena Foxy, what does she do? She is tier 1. Efficient failing, try harder. Plus 50 on critical failures. Okay, so these sort of manage things. Workaholic, plus 10% work time. Won't really matter that much, to be honest, with these. I might get the first one. Actually, this one here is 600. What does she do? Reduces their simp's wage by 10%. So low stamina, but is creepy. Plus 25 fear given to a treated soul for 20 seconds, which will speed them up, which we don't need just yet. Some works for less, but it won't really matter for a waiting list. Let's just go and grab her. She gets placed in here. So she's now going to be processing the souls through here. Let's just go and process these souls and see what actually happens. The game is fairly relaxed in its pacing. Now open them up. We can speed things up, but these are now all going to hit here. They're going to see. Oh, hang on. Which way do I go? Is it missing a configuration? Fallback exit. Configuration. That should be okay. It's almost like that needs to have... Oh, missing road connection. We need a road out of here. All right, in that case, I do have to get rid of this part of this waiting line. In fact, I might just then change that. So what we'll do is we'll destroy that, and we'll put a bit of a waiting list in through to have it snake around. So we'll just go and ditch those. So we'll get the soul road this way, and then we'll start a waiting list here, which will go off. Just trying to think of the best way. If we go out, in, out, in, that will do it, I think. Just come back this way a little bit, and then we'll go back to the waiting line. There we go. So that's going to that should now work. So we now have everything. There's no little errors being shown. In they go. And these aren't deviant, so they're all going to go and sit in the waiting line until these guys are ready, which really shouldn't be a big problem. The bus has gone back. We've now got 2 souls waiting in the list. We've still only got 1 deviant, so we'll wait until we end up with a deviant back in here before we sort of start to process the next portion. So we'll just keep an eye on that other deviant. You can see we can have up to 200. We need to populate the overworld up to 200. So using that one, that's going to be one of the things we need to do. And we need to punish 6,000 sins ultimately. The Omni Sin Doctor will then come in and actually show them their sins and start to cleanse their sins. This particular soul has got limited sins, not too many. So he's got low fear at this point in time, and he's now going to be being taught about the sins. And so the sins will start to drop off, and we'll earn Purga dollars while this actually happens. So the little imp there is working away, trying to cleanse this soul of its sins as it does things. So it's earning Purga dollars. The same in through here as well. He is now waiting for another one to come back in. And so we can keep on adding more and more to this grouping, and just have more and more of the guys sort of waiting for waiting to come back in to be then cleansed. So they're doing all sorts of different things in through here. Again, if we just keep an eye on this one here, the sins will start to sort of then come back down again. And if the sins are lower than 50, it then means that that they're sort of in a position where they can earn heroes, but they're going to be picking up sins as they leave. He's already 52, so he's not actually good enough to be he's a bit sinful. Now, what we could do, if we wanted to try to process things, I could keep on processing the same souls over and over and over again, but let's just do that afterwards. So these are now just being processed, and we're sort of slowly earning a little bit of money, but we're going to have like a fair bit of upkeep at the end of the next day. So we're going to need to do a bit better than this. Still only got the 1 deviant, which is the envy deviant. Now, we've got 7 souls in hell in the cemetery, so there'll be a lot more sort of coming through. So we're going to maybe need to even process even more. So people are dying. The bus is on the way. So it's picked up 5 of those now, so we should see the bus arrive any second. This one's now gone, and then we'll get the next group of souls sitting here in the waiting line. Now we're burning some purga dollars as we track through here. But see how they're nice and slow? I'll just show you this before we sort of then go back up to the overworld again. When they hit this area here, the fear levels are going to go through the ceiling. It's already picked up, like it's now gone from 52 to 57. See how it's now speeding up? The fear is now up to here because of the lava next to it. And it's now going at full speed, as fast as it can go. So the lava is really, really scaring it. So if you can scare them, it does make them move faster, which means they're not going to pick up as many sins on their way through. And we could actually even do another processing at the back end here. It may be that we actually do it if they're close enough to generating heroes. Let's pause that and do that now, actually, just so we've got a final little way of trying to cleanse sins if they're close. So if we move... I'm just going to think about the best way of actually structuring. So I might just pause and then just build it and then talk about it rather than spending too much time doing the thinking. What I'll do here is actually just show you a little bit of the... Actually, I might just turn the game volume down a little bit. We shouldn't have too much talking, I don't think. Let's actually just go through this create rule again. So we're going to go to A, because I want to have, if they're close to being a like generating heroes for me, I want them to go this way. So generate, we're going to create a rule through here. So if the sin value, so let's just go and click on this one through here. If the overall sin value is greater than 50, I actually want that to be, if it's greater than 60, move forward. But if it's less, well, if it's going to have to be, if it's greater than 50, I need it to be, I need the sin value to be greater, to go off this way, I need it to be greater than 50, but less than, say, 59 or 60 or something like that. So if we just go and do the sin value, so it's sort of there. If the overall sinometer value is, and this one here is 59 at the moment, so let's make it, say, 60. I think that might be enough. We'll have to sort of monitor what does happen here. But if we go and say this, if the sinometer value is greater than 50, so we can then just go and apply that. But I need it to then go and do more. If I go and click on it again, I can then add a rule. Now you've got and you've got or. So we want it and. So we want it to be, if it's greater than 50 and it's actually less than say 60. So I can add a rule if the sin value is less than, you can either do greater than or less than, and I've changed this one to say 60. So if it's between 50 and 60, send it to this other guy to try to then generate heroes. So that will try to then bring it down. So we'll just go and apply that. So we've now got 2. So this one here, I don't know if I click on it again, I can keep on adding more rules. This is very, very cool. So they're the 2 rules we have. If it's greater than 50 and less than 60, turn left. That should be all we need to go and do. So so we'll just go and stop that one, just double check. Yep, that's all okay. Info, rules, summary, yep, that's okay. Not a problem. Otherwise, the fallback exit is going to be B. So that's going to be where it's going to go if there's nothing selected. So that's important for us to then go and do. So this one now should process this soul who is on 59. We need to put another imp into this one through here. We'll just go into these guys. And so Sat Imp is going to be the one that we require. These level up, by the way. Let's go and see what actually happens. Yep, so he's gone off to be processed yet again. If they're close enough, this should then get us some heroes. Because they're going to be getting sins as they do other things. Next one will come along. If there's a lot of them in that category, so what have we got in here? This one is on 59. That one's going to be over by the time it gets there. This one's 51. So this one's almost would have left if we had done the testing back in here. It wouldn't have been enough. So these guys are still just working away. They've got the guys being processed. The others are just in the waiting line there. So while we go through, so we can end up sort of getting, if we end up with too much in the waiting line, I can then just keep on building more Omni-Sin Doctors. So we're getting, now it's now night time in the overworld. Let's just see what happens in here. We'll just let this one soul here get processed. This one here is now down to 44. In fact, I can go above that. And see how this one has actually now got a saint chance? This one went straight through because this one was over 60. I think I can actually make this one a bit lower. But this one is now at 42. So we actually managed to get, well, we're going to get about 20 out of it actually, which is actually pretty good. It's pretty damn good actually. So this one has a chance to become a saint and also has got a chance to, there she goes. So she's going to be resurrected first. So off she goes to the overworld. And this guy here is down to 38. This is good stuff. See how low we can get it. So I may be able to up. This one's also now just going to go and wait. They're just going to wait outside the office until this actually happens. Off he goes at 35. So there is a chance we'll end up with a saint there, which will sort of counteract the that stone of corruption that we had as well. Let's just go and see what actually happens to him. So if we just go back up to the top and have a look at, I'll just pause so we can sort of see him come back out. So these should then appear out of here. There we go. That one has now just arrived. And this is our 35. So he's now come back as Childemere Stoutbelly. So a new soul. Took a bit of damage actually being thrown out of the portal. So he's now sort of going to be wandering down into the actual village itself. I've only got 61 population back in here again. We've got 2 deviants now as well. So we're going to have to keep a track on those deviant souls. Let's have a quick look and see. So we've got one through here, which is the first one that we had, which is one of the rangers. And who else have we got as a deviant? Back in through here. This is a lust deviant back in this other side. They're in the middle of the night time, so they're actually now all going home to Shabonk, which will then sort of give us a new influx of citizenship at the back end here. Let's just keep it going with our current listing, I think. Now, the one that came in there's a random chance that they'll become a saint. But he didn't become a saint. So we don't actually. He's not saintly. But there is a chance if they're under 50 that they can become saints. So we're just doing that final little bit of processing. What that does, is it gives me a hero. So the heroes, your available heroes are used to unlock technologies in the Liber Administratum. These are actually very, very valuable. I may even make it so that we actually process a little bit more than what we thought. You win heroes when resurrecting souls with a low sinometer, 50 or less. So and we haven't spoken about this. Let's just go back to hell, and because I'm not going to worry too much about what's happening over the top there just yet. This one is still we've got another one being processed. There'll be other souls now coming back through. Let's just see what sort of numbers we're looking at. This one's at 31 already a saint chance. This one's already at 23. Wow, so these are actually good. So maybe we will keep it with what we have if they're just close. A lot of souls coming in here now. None of these are deviants. Otherwise, it'd be a deviant waiting back over here. So we won't process them just yet. We'll just sort of let them all get into the queue. It's looking like we're actually running out of space in here. So we might go and open up even more. So she is actually just delaying the queue. So she's doing her job. Back pain when sitting there, she is. It's just Selena Foxy. They are funny little things. So these guys are just waiting because she is slowing things right down. So we need to give them a break room. That's another thing we will need to go and do. So I will actually go and let's just keep this one paused for now. And yes, we're sort of they're on breaks at this point in time. Sort of almost enforced breaks. Yeah, I'll make a restroom for them, but I think we need to process a lot more souls here. So let's go into getting more Omni-Sin Doctors. So I'll go this way. Can I squeeze another one in there? Yeah, I can. Let's go and do that. Now, we are getting to the process here where... actually, no, we've still got to... No, we pay for it at dawn. I should have waited till the next dawn. I will wait. Just wait for dawn to arrive. If we earn enough money, I'll then come back through and do others. So she needs to get back into action. They're back to work. But they've got nothing to do. So unfortunately, we are losing Pergodollars. Now we've got a Power Shrine is ready. Let's go and have a look at this one through here. Now what's happened here is we actually have a... who have we got there? This is Napoleon's Master Chef, who is now being taken over by the other one. This one is actually going into gluttony, so he's a Master Chef, which is has been taken over by the Corruption Stone. So this is another deviant on the improve. So gluttony is being pushed up hard with him. So we're going to end up with all these different deviants, which we are going to have to process. But this one here, there should be a group of rangers nearby that will have actually scouted this one out. Now what this one does is this particular magic site, if I just zoom back a little bit, so magic site which periodically provides free spells to use. Now we've still got to see them, so I've just picked up, this one here is a Rockalicious, so let them feel the weight of bureaucracy. It throws a solid rock which inflicts damage on impact to entities and structures. Hold and release to click in the in motion. Now we've already processed a lot of sins in through here, so we're actually on the way with that one through that side, but we've actually got the you hold and quick release in motion. It just tells you sort of how to then make use of it. So you can throw the rocks at things. It's hard to do these, but these are free to use. These ones cost you faith coins, which I won't worry too much about just yet. Let's leave that one. So the rangers must have come across here and had a look at them at some point. Now what else do we have down this way? There's all sorts of stuff on the overworld. There's one of those chests that we looked at, copper chest. So we can break it. Now I can break it with one of these spells. That work? There we go. So we used up a little bit of what we had through there. And we picked up, I don't know what that was that we ended up picking up. What did we get? Missing road connection. Yep, that's okay. Got the reward chest.
Oh, the Humus Rangers have tagged a power shrine and freed its energy.
Yep, so this is the first time I've had one of these come up in the campaign.
Feel free to collect and store these spells. They might come in handy. Once collected, they will take some time to regenerate, so come back to them from time to time.
Yep, so we've got that one. The population has just improved. You'll sort of see that through the night time they have now generated a whole lot of different humus, which have now come back out of the growth area. So they've come out of here, and then they're just making their way down into the village. And the village they will just keep on building what they're going to be building in through this other side. So what have we got in through here? We've got a mine which is operating. We've got ourselves a watchtower. A farm back in that side. That's the cemetery again, just with a few souls wandering around, just 4 souls. Anyway, we'll keep on going. We've got 4 heroes now, which is great. So we're actually picking up the heroes, which we can spend. I haven't shown you how to spend that. Let's go back in and have a look at this one here. So we're now spent, we're not quite at the dawn, and this is going to then cost me at the dawn. So Pergodollars, let's just wait. A little bit, there we are. We've got 500 now to spend, so not a hell of a lot. Let's just pause again and then just go through. So we've now got a whole day before we have to then go and do the next one. These did cost me. I shouldn't have done that when I got it. I should have waited until I've actually had things to do. But we have a lot of souls now waiting to be processed. Over time, the souls become more and more difficult to process. They accrue too many more sins. Still got no one that's come down this way just yet. None of our deviants have been killed off just yet. So we'll go to the Soul Road, move down to here and into this one, down to here and into this one. Just bring them. As long as the arrows are pointing the right way, everything sort of is working fine. So that sort of keeps them all where they're going, and we just need to now get imps to look after these areas. Now I've only got 268, so I probably don't really have enough yet. Yeah, we've got 660 there, we've got a 320 and a 310, so I don't have enough to bring one of these SAT imps into these particular buildings. Now let's talk about the Liber Administratum. This is actually a special building which allows us to go and do different things. I've got 4 heroes to spend. So I can slowly, as I accrue these, I can start to spend these. I can get, for example, infusing wisdom, increase experience gained by working employees. So I can actually spend 5 there, but I don't actually have it, to get a little bit of XP on the actual workers. This is locked, so makes this removing from Saint Souls. Yeah, that's okay. So we've got different pages which do different things. This is sort of like this one here. I need 5 to then unlock this little tier. I need 10 to unlock this tier, and I need 25 to unlock this tier. But I have to follow the road through to get the different sorts of buildings. Again, it's really quite nice the way it works. So this is the technologies for the administration. This one here is the infrastructure. Now we've got the Soul Road, Soul's Dispatcher, and the Imp Road have all been done. I've got the Synchotron facility, which I probably won't worry about. These are level 5. Level 10, now this one gives me the Omnisyn Conbobulator. Can transfer random sins into the targeted into the designated target sin. So we can actually promote a particular type of sin if that's what we're aiming for, which we're not. So there's nothing much in here that I want. So I don't need anything through that side. Let's just go back across to punishment. And so this is actually what we are going to be needing to go and do. We've got the 7 deadly sins. These all cost 5, so I need to get a lot of these to get my specific different types of sins processed. So we're going to need a lot of the heroes with what's doing. So I may even build more down the other end there just to sort of capture the last of them. Each of these also has something new that we can do back over this other side as well. Like we can get first class tickets, increase the amount of Poker dollars earned through Hell's entrance fee. Now we pick up 100 at the moment per soul coming in. We have the spacious bus, so we can actually go and add more soul capacity on the Reaper bus as well for another 5. And charismatic admin, so increases the speed given by fear and motivation, so we can push them along the road faster ultimately if we go and do that one through there. Back to this one again. Again, we've got the punishers, increase the amount of Poker dollars earned when punishing souls. That would be good, but we do need to save up for these because we've now got, I think we've got 1 envy and we've got 1 wrath, I think. Oh no, we've got 1 lust coming as well, and we don't actually have a lustologist. So we will need to go and do this one. So they're the only ones we have unlocked. This one through here, this one's technologies where we end up with the minor fear motivation props. These will actually then allow us to push them along the road faster if we need to. I'm not going to worry about those just yet. And then down through here we have other technologies where we can actually use spells on the overworld. So we've got the Hell Puppet Show, the Force Push. This one will generate faith coins. You see we're sitting on 80 faith coins. We have no way of generating those unless we get something like the Hell Puppet Show that we can actually then go and do that one through there. So that's something, again, we may, when we can afford it, we may sort of go that way. So let's just see how we go, and we'll keep it sort of rolling through. We've got no one queued up here, which is actually not too bad. What I might do is I might just go and change the rule here. Change that 60 to say, actually I can do it this way. Wow, it's very, very finicky. Press shift, no, it's very finicky, but it's easier. Well, 70 is actually probably what I want, to be honest. Let's just go and apply that. See how we go. Now I can't squeeze another road in around here, but I can move this if, actually it's not going to be all that great. Maybe moving it around here and actually getting like a line of them might be something we could try to do to end up having them so that they process back through here. If we're close to getting because the heroes are going to be super important for us to go and get. I hope that all makes sense. So we've got the reward chest, which we did on the overworld, so we picked up that one through there, and 10 Humus were stuck in that chest, so we get 10 more. Then we've got a missing operator, which we actually have a few of them. So if we just go back across and have a look. So we've got these different buildings in here, which we do need to go and get operators for. But we will wait. So we'll just wait until we actually earn a little bit more. Bus is coming soon in 11 seconds. These are nice and low, down at 7. Wow, that's great. It's 35. Yeah, so these are actually... The sins on these initial guys are really, really low. 318, getting there. Bring this one in as well.
I'm in. I have to talk to people.
More souls, and so I can actually then go and just grab the next one as well. I'm not going to worry too much about what their abilities are just yet. Still no one come down this way, which is good, because we do need to just keep the money thumping along. Now we've still got a full day in here. Let's have a quick look and see what other things we can then go and do. So we've got the health facilities. The restroom's only 600. Oh, here we go, we've got bloodshed. Let's just pause it and have a look at this one here. This is on the overworld. This is sort of like showing that there's something happening now around this particular warg lair. And if we go and have a look at the warg lair itself, you'll see this is a 2-star warg lair. We saw that with the Sandbox. So this is mid-level. There's 3 of them. There's none of our guys have been killed, but there's only 3 of these wargs left. And so our rangers should be in around here somewhere. They must be scouting it. There's another chest there as well. You can see we've only got the 80. I'll show you how we can get more faith coins without having to sort of process things. Actually, where are our rangers? This one here is a barracks being built at this point in time. We did actually have a group. Where was it? Here. So when I go there, we've got 2 different ranger groups. One group is here. Yeah, so we've got the rangers in here, which are now scouting out this particular warg lair. So we've got 4 of them in here. I don't know if our deviant is one of these guys. Who have we got? Nope, they're all pretty low. So that's not the deviant with that group. It must be with the other group. So if we have a look, there's another warg lair there. This is only a 1-star warg lair. And when we get the barracks, the guys in the barracks will then start to do things. Now these are scouting out this power node for us, and so this little group is just sitting around. There's our deviant there, so we can pick the deviants. So he is not wrathful. He is envious. He's envious of all the others. So anyway, he's got a big potential to cause issues for us. Let's go and get the guys processing things a little bit faster, but there is going to be bloodshed. We'll just unpause and watch this fight take place. So they're firing arrows at the wargs as they come forward. Got one killed. There goes a soul off to the cemetery. Another one. They killed off the whole group of rangers, so we've now got those. So we're attacked by 3 dire wargs, and so we can again just push things into their. Like I can use this rock thing, for example, to start to push it in. So if I hover over that one, it's going to tell me how to do it. So throw a rock. Hold and release in the click in motion to throw the rock away. Quicker motions increase the rock speed, but I'm not going to be able to do the whole thing in one go, so I'm just going to right click that one. We won't use that one just yet. Anyway, we'll continue on back through into hell again and just keep on watching. So we've got a bit of a queue in through this other side. These guys are all on breaks. We're up to 1,000, and we're still a long way into the day. So let's just go and speed things up. Again, these are all quite low. So we should end up with many, many more heroes. We've now got 5. So this one here is going straight through because he is under. He's only got 14, so he's actually could become a saint. We haven't seen any saints just yet. We've now got a 3rd deviant. Now the deviant souls will also then sort of show up when they come into hell. Let's go and get a restroom at the back here somewhere for these guys, or maybe even off to the side. Let's go and do that. So, restroom. Now this it doesn't have an exit, so I'm just going to go and place this one maybe just in here somewhere. Let's have it go off this side. And to get there, we want to have, we can either just use, we can use soul roads, but really what I want to have here is an imp road, which is going to be specific to for the imps. And so I'm just going to go and set up an imp road in here. They can use the other roads as well. I'll just go and position an imp road all the way through to here as well. That way all of these guys can just go along the imp road, get into the restroom, and from there we can also then process them a little bit faster if we need to as well. But that's what they want to do. They want to go and hang out in the toilets, play around in the urinals, and do all their bits and pieces in this actual room. So that's all we need to do there. We'll just leave that one where that is. So we are getting through. We've now processed, like, you know, what's that? What? No, 0.5% of what we need to do. So, oh no, 600 is 10%. So that's 5%. We've done 5% of the overall. Let's just unpause again. And so we're getting more and more heroes. Then really I want to wait until I actually sort of see what funds I need down to in here to process the other souls. So it's going to be a little bit different. These are all on breaks. They should be, when they go on breaks, they should now go into here ultimately. So these are all being processed, which is fine. Let's see who we've still got. So we've still got the ranger there. Oh, we do have a soul in here now that is a deviant soul. It's that last one. It's the lust lady. So she's going to be coming out as our first one, and then we've got another one here. This is that. This is the glutton. So he's actually eating away and doing his own thing. So what's he part of? He's another part of another ranger group. Well, we better watch her when she comes here she comes. So she is going to... No, she didn't make it onto the bus. So she didn't make it there. She's just hovering around in here. So we still don't have to process her just yet. I'm going to have to just let the processing now sort of kick in, so that we can actually just get as many of the Perga dollars as we possibly can. Oh, I was going to show you how to get more of the points in if you want. Actually, I'm losing track of where things are. At the back here, if there's any cultists, and we actually don't have any cultists, if there is any, they'll start to leave some of these in through here, these faith coins in behind here for us, but we don't actually have any. So our good king is still sitting around doing his thing, so he's sort of here for a length of time. The game gets harder and harder as things progress. We've got different souls coming back in. So we do, like for example, I do want to have doctors, because these guys are just going to keep on getting killed. We are building this one slowly. So we're going to end up with war bands, which is really what this king's focus actually is. Now, if the souls get left for too long back in here, they will pick up corruption. So she is got no cycles, but she's actually okay. Let's see if there's any of them that have got it. I think we're okay. They haven't been here for long enough. Them keep on sort of processing the souls. They just do a day and night. So the Humus just do their own thing through the course of the day. I think if I could get rid of the wind, I would do it. I wonder if I can. Let's just have a quick look and see if that's something we can do in the settings. Oh, this is a good game. This is such a good game. Graphics, I'm guessing it'll be in here. Quality high. It's not showing it there. I don't remember the sort of swirling previously, but I don't think I need it. This is really good. They've done such a good job of this game. Except for the swirling. Now we're going to be playing this for a length of time. I'm purposely not sort of trying to rush it, because I really do enjoy this game a lot. Let's see hell, the entrance to hell underneath there. Here we go, we've got a message.
Administrator, here you can witness the Humus military-industrial complex in full swing. Soldiers will guard their civilization against any threat, and might even heed the call of rangers whenever they spot hostiles.
This is good. So the rangers will now... I like this. The game is introducing us to things.
Muscle man.
I can be anything you want me to be, baby.
His file states, and I quote, Adam, experienced and highly trained killing machine, fearless, tender lover, 100% hero, cheese enjoyer. However, I'm not sure I can vouch for the accuracy of this information.
A hero? All I see is a big lump of blasted flesh.
This is new. I've never seen this in the game. This is interesting. I'm going to pause that, and we're going to see what we can find out about that particular character. Again, the game is really engaging. Like the God game side of things, you don't do much. God, where are they? They must be in here somewhere. Now, he was in the farm. Was he in the farm, or was he somewhere else? I'm not sure how we find those heroes. They must be to do with the military, I'm guessing. We've got one warband, which is pristine at this stage. So where was he? Where was he? I can't recognise the spot. He wasn't up there. He could be in here. No, we've got different miners and things working away there. I thought he was in the farm. I should have taken more note as to where he actually was. Warband going to war. One barrack sent 6 soldiers to form a warband. 6 are still alive. So we can actually go and have a look at them. So locate the alert on the world. And so they're now marching off. This is actually the rangers which are watching. And we've got a different... This is actually that other guy that's sort of now sitting back in around here. We're picking up good income. I'm going to let the $dollars accrue before we sort of run into any troubles. So that's all we have there. But where's that hero guy? Show and hide all alerts. And we can do the... we can sort of show different things for the alerts as well. So we can turn different alerts on and off. I'll just pause and see if I can find him. There he is. Actually, it's not one of our group. I thought it was possibly one of our actual team. But he's not. He doesn't come up with anything. So I'm not sure who this guy actually is. I've never seen him before in the game. So we'll sort of keep a bit of an eye on him. Let's just unpause. He obviously does good things. I'm hoping. Might be just here to protect things. It's like a hero that's wandered in, I'm guessing. So he's sort of in the village. One thing I haven't shown yet in this particular playthrough, what I did do is I went to instead of going to staff, I went to stats and started to sort of do searches for different things, like with different bonuses, thinking that he would then show up in here, but it just doesn't. So I can actually sort by all sorts of different things into here. Again, this is incredibly good. It's got the, if you've got the cultists, we don't actually have any of those just yet. We need to find more influence. Sins, this is the actual just showing me the total sins each dawn. The economy, sort of as it sort of dropped right off. The souls in through here as well, and then the overworld. And I can sort of just go and have a look at the at different sort of stats with the game. So if you do like spreadsheety type games, this one has got you covered as well. Now I wish I could find out where that character always is. Now we've got this one here. I'm just going to grab that one. This one gives me another power shrine, so I can actually then just go and pick up that one there as a zap. These are actually very, very cool. So I can sort of kill things off eventually. So I may use it to help, but I'll just keep on accruing them until we sort of see things actually come up. rangers moving off to see what else they can find. A few other things we haven't had a look at yet as well is that we actually have, I'll just pause it here because there's a few things we can see just even from this area here if you're trying to sort of find things. You've got different map modes in your layers. So you've got, for example, this is Hell, Motivation and Fear, which we won't see anything on this map. But then we actually have Sin Intensity. So we should start to sort of see, for example, as we sort of zoom in, here's our Deviant back through there. So anyone that's actually really sort of becoming a bit more corrupt than the others. This one here is highlighting a little bit as well. We can have a look to see it's starting to sort of build up, but nothing too bad just yet. And then finally, we also then have Influence. This is going to be, we won't see this one at the moment because this is actually for the cultists, and we don't actually have any in the game at this point in time. So nobody is exerting any cult influence in the actual game. But anyway, they're just different map modes. Again, really nicely done. Really nicely done. So if you are looking for something in particular, you will sort of find it relatively easy, except for if you're looking for those heroes that are wandering around. Anyway, let's just let things keep on developing. We'll go back to Hell, I think, and just sort of monitor what's going on through here. Oh, here we go. We've got our lust person has now made it to Hell. So we now need to process this particular deviant. So we now need to use a particular type of building. Now we've got 14 heroes to spend, and we will need to use get a specific type of building. Now we're up to 3,300. I should be able to still hopefully do this a little bit. Let's just go back into this area. We go back into the Punishment of Hells, and so the Lustologist is what we need to go and buy here. Now we're going to need to get a Gluttonologist as well at some point. So let's just go into and unlock the Lustologist. So we now have a different building which gets added into here. So we'll just go and close this one off. God, it's a great little game. And what I want to be doing here is actually essentially is specifically targeting these deviants as they come through. Now we're going to have a lot of them because of that stone. Like that stone is going to cause a lot of issues for us. And ultimately we're going to need a lot of different ways of processing these in through here. And I might end up with an area that sort of ends up snaking back through and then reprocessing down this way after they've sort of dealt with their sins. Could even sort of have it so that it comes back up and they just reprocess the soul, and if they haven't processed the actual deviancy, it still processes them properly. That would probably be a good way to do it, actually. Let's just go and prepare for this. Let's go and build another road down this way. Oops, hang on, I've got to do it, so I have to do it the other way. Hang on, can I do it? Soul road, yeah, I can. So we'll just have it so that it ends up coming back this other side, and again, it's only a one-way street coming back in the other side. So as long as I'm doing the right direction, I can always just go back in and redraw things if I need to. So that's going to ultimately end up coming back through. So I'm going to have like a corridor that extends back around. Let's just go back in. We've got the new room in through here, the Lustologist. 2,500 is expensive. We want to queue this one around, the Lust Doctor. And so that's going to ultimately end up where I'm going to have a little bit of a queue, and then it's going to have to then go back down the other way. So let's go and place it here. Yeah, I'm going to then have to build all sorts of things in around it. Hope this doesn't end up costing me too much. Okay, so at the moment I don't need to set up, because I don't have any other deviants in Hell. I can literally just do a simple road network until we need to sort of start to have things move in, and then we'll just have this one come back up and around back to there. So she will now go in, but we need to have a worker that works inside here in this particular building. I've given myself a little bit of extra so I can actually end up with just a few of them queued up if there's any sort of real problem. In fact, I'm going to ultimately then end up with it snaking through to essentially create like another waiting list, like what we have down through the other side there. But in this case, we need to have somebody in charge that's going to be going into this particular building. So this one here, we just need to have a sat imp. It's going to be the operator. Go back to our staff. And so this is a sat imp. We've only got one more left. This one's going to cost me 600, which I can't afford. Plus 150. Yeah, I will actually try to get this one. What I could do is grab one of the others. If one of them's not being used, now I'm guessing that all of these have got people coming in. It's funny, they're not just yet.
You scared me.
This one here is high-spirited, plus 15 permanent motivation. This one's on a break.
Me. I didn't do it. I swear.
I don't know why they're not going off to the break room for their breaks. Seem to just be hovering around outside.
You scared me.
That one's slow, which we don't want. This one here was, I think, good. No, that one was okay.
Darn. Oh, it's not me.
It's too slow.
I swear.
A few bad ones. Let's go back up to the top here. This one's not actually being used just yet.
Did I do something wrong?
Deviant Hater. So this one, plus 5 purge from the highest sin when treating deviant souls. There is a chance for a soft failure, but let's actually go and grab this guy. So let's just go and pick him up. So I can pick him up from here, and I can then move him across. Across the map until we get to the other building. There he is. Just drop him in here.
Yes, yes.
So he is now going to be processing that soul. So let's just keep on going through here. If there's any others that end up needing to be processed down the other side, we'll have to just wait. There's nothing else coming through this other way just yet. These guys have been a bit slow, actually. So she now comes in and then sits down and actually goes through the... He's doing a dance. But we end up with getting a lot more Purga dollars, and her deviancy is being targeted specifically. It's a funny game. I love it, I love it, I love it. It's just funny. They've done such a good job of this game. It's unbelievable. Warband going to war again. They're going to be sort of taking on wargs and things like this. Maybe we'll have a look at that. 15 soldiers being sent out. So they're actually moving across to join up with these rangers. So the rangers have called the warband in. The warband will be coming from here. And here they come marching off now. We do have a deviant in with this group as well. Now they've actually been called by this warband. There is a warg lair here. So they must be coming in to attack this. These guys are now coming in to help them, the rangers. A couple of deviants in there. That one's another lust deviant. So we've already got the way of processing that one. These are much, much stronger at being able to take on these big dire wargs. These are just normal wargs been through this other side. So the guys are doing a good job here. Now they should start to smash this open once they get these ones killed. There they go. They'll now rip apart the actual the lair itself. And so the overworld just looks after itself. We're not doing anything else there. And so this will then give us another benefit. The rangers are attacking it as well. That will then disappear, and we should have ended up with a chest on the inside here. Now, I don't really want to spend the faith coins until I can really process them properly. Usually there's a chest left over. Here comes another bigger group. They may be being the ones called up into here. Oh, there's a chest there. You want to strike. Couldn't pay the full amounts. Oh, damn. So we actually didn't have enough money. in the end to do what we had to go and do. So we've got a strike. 2 imps went on strike. They were protested until noon and will return working afterwards. So we're missing 1,500. So we've got to be really careful with the management of what we then go and do. This is so much better than the playtest. There's so much more in this. I'm really glad that I'm actually getting a chance to play it. Onions for all. There we are. Coffee is a basic imp, right? There we go. So anyway, we've got 2 of them that are now on strike inside this location. Where are they? I'm not even sure where they are. Well, the imp there has now finished his job.
1, 2, 3.
We can pick him up.
Dawn.
He didn't go on strike. Who went on strike?
Okay, you can
That one
do
did.
this.
Oh, she's on strike as well. Unfortunately, she's going to delay everyone. So she's a problem. Yeah, they're just going to have to wait. It just means we don't process as fast. It means we don't get as much purga dollars. I'm just seeing if there's any that are going to be up there. 22 is going to be fine. 51, she's one that we could process. 57 is one that we possibly could process as well. Yeah, I need to get another one back out that way. In fact, in that case, I will actually go and grab this guy again.
I didn't do it.
I'll just move him around. Because you don't have to wait for one of those other ones to come in. So he'll generate a little bit more money for us.
What work?
That will do us. Okay, that's good. I mean, I could set up this whole operation closer to the end as well if I needed to. This is such a good game. Things cascade as well. There goes the imps with the placards. Butt hurt, there we are. Marching around. They're not happy. This is the imp waiting room in through here. It's got a lot of personality, this game, which is cool. It's going to stop all of these guys from working, unfortunately. Now I'm going to need to, we're going to end up with another imp, another deviant coming in. I can't really afford it yet. Yeah, they're just wandering around. They'll, yep, so they're on strike until midday. I will need another one of these entrances, I think, just so I don't have to think about it. So we need to have the direction the correct way, which is this way here. So with this one here, we're going to set up A if the status is a deviant. What's in? That's cultists. Actually, where is deviant? There. The deviant, this being a lust deviant. So if it's a lust deviant, apply that one through there. So it will go to A. Otherwise, I'll just say B at this stage. So fallback exit will be B. Nobody's a deviant just yet. Now this is not going to work, but that's still okay. I can still process it when things actually sort of start to accrue there. Now unfortunately, without her working, I do have 600 now, so I can actually get another. I can have someone sitting in here while the others are working in here. So I'll just go back into the. It's almost time. I can just bring another one in. Joy Edgy.
Of course. Who else?
I can't even do it. Yeah, she's just going to go off to the waiting room, I think. Yeah, these guys are just going to do what they do. So we can't even make use of her until the strike comes back. So these are completely non-usable. And what else do we have in through here? Missing configuration. Yep, that's okay. The Souls Dispatcher, we don't have the level B coming back out of it. We do have that copper reward chest now from this from destroying. That's the level 3 War Glare. Just let them sort of wander off. And yeah, we did actually have the strike that we spoke about. I'll leave that configuration there. I don't really want to open this one up. I'll just keep it where it is for now. What if that big guy is still wandering around the place? I have no idea what they do. I'm guessing they protect the realm. Up to 90 population now. And we're over 10% of the punished sins that we need to sort of be mindful of. So we're getting there. We're sort of moving through the process with these objectives. You're missing operator. So we do need to go and do this one, but we have no one that's actually triggered this area yet. Okay, they're back at work. Don't know why they're not. Oh, she's using it. Okay. What I can do is smack them around to get them back to work. Just makes them take less time on their breaks. She's really got a bottleneck here. Unfortunately, no deviants there. Oh, they're going out the front. I wonder if I need to do that at the back. I forget actually how I needed to do this. It should be okay. I don't think they need a road at the back. But they aren't. These imps aren't actually making use of the facilities. They should be. He's just waiting.
Souls are terrified. I should share my medication.
We can see the summary of the info on these as well. Generated purga dollars, 980. Yeah, they've purged 98 sins. We're up to 15 of these souls now as well. So we are sort of processing away, maybe not as efficiently as we could be. Just really waiting on these. We've now got 4 deviants. So we've processed 1. So we've still got the one that's in there. This is the envy guy from the start. We've got another one in here in the military who is lustful. This is the glutton, and we have another one that's envious there. It's only just come across into envy. Now I need to get on top of these purga dollars more effectively. Just leave them there until we can sort of get things sorted. It's now night time, so they're all going off to go to sleep. Now we don't generate much from the overworld. It really is just what happens with the actual civilians. Here's the hero again. No idea what he's doing. We've hardly improved our population at all. We need to be processing souls faster. You know what I might do is I might actually open up hell a little bit better. Just because this queue is getting way too long. If the souls that actually arrive in here are let's go to B. So if they're already under a certain level, so if their sin value is already, say, less than 50, so sin value less than 50, let's just go and apply that. So B will go there, and C will be basically then the default. So anything that's essentially over 50, go down this way. So anything that's sort of this other side, we'll just go to the roads. Actually, we're generating good money this time. I can just move it down, or I can go straight across. I'll make it go down. And it's just going to make sure it goes that way. Alright, so that way we'll just process some of these other souls a bit faster in that case. Oh, these are using the toilets, or is that just her? That's just her. She uses it a lot. She's really made life difficult for us in here. Okay, we've got an idle employee. One imp is currently not assigned. Total of 100 wasted purga dollars. So she is in here, which I really don't need her doing anything.
Well, hey, you.
I might just fire her, I think.
Is it about my raise? Oh, you can't mean
So
it.
she's gone. I thought we could use that a bit more effectively. I think we can move these around. No, I can't do anything else there. Okay, well, we'll leave that where that is. We have another warband going off to wars, 11 of them. Again, we've just see how they're going. So they're doing pretty well here. Some of these will be processed. Back in here, this is actually going to end up being quite a useful little final stop on the way through. But we're earning lots of purga dollars, which is fantastic. Here we go. We haven't got quite enough. Damn it! We're not going to make it again. Who aren't we going to pay? Ah, damn. Only one went on strike. Who was it? This one here. That's all right. Wasn't too bad. I'm going to have to just sort of let things develop up, I think. We need to process these souls much faster. As they level up, they'll end up being more efficient. Only got one soul left out in the cemetery. Actually, one thing that's happened, this one here has gone straight through. Yeah, down on 33. So as these come through, anything that that one possibly will be salvageable. So we are processing these a little bit more efficiently now, which is nice. Still nothing coming through here with the deviancy. We have now 5 deviants. We're going to need to save these up for the various ones that are coming through. What I might do is set up another location back over here for the other deviants. We're ultimately going to need seven processing areas for these. It's a bit congested, doesn't it, really? It's Where's that one? The warband I won't worry about. I'll just let them do their own thing for a little while. We're only through the middle of the day and we're already now starting to pick up heroes. I'll try to get on top of the pergodollars. So not heroes, pergodollars. I'll just let them sort of develop. We are getting through the bits and pieces. We now have a bit of a queue here, which is fine. So I don't mind that where they just queue up a little bit just to get processed. This one's 66. It's very close to the lava, so it is actually freaking out. More of them coming through. One straight through. This one was already too high, so we couldn't really do that much with that one, and that one was low enough to become another pergodollar for us, or another hero. God, I keep on getting those confused. Okay, we're nearly 1/6 of the way through the sin punishment. Not generating enough pergodollars here. Oh, we've got a saint. Okay, let's just pause and have a quick look at this one through here. So Tulip Greasy Lips has become a saint. So I think that's the only one that we actually have. Let's go and see where she is. So she's just come out of here. So here she is with the saintly little ring in through this other side. And so these are actually treated differently again. And so they actually have their sins don't count anymore. So Saint Humus are immune to every type of sin, manipulation, and receive negative alterations that don't take part in their daily birth rate. Saint souls cannot be treated in hell buildings to earn currencies and do not earn heroes when resurrected. To remove sainthood from a Humu, you must break their holy patience, otherwise is kept after death and resurrection. Now, to break their patience, you actually sort of need to keep them in waiting lists, in waiting lines, and so that's really where the waiting lines do kick in a little bit to break that one. But I'm actually not it won't matter having a few of those around the place. So that's still, they're not going to help with anything. No heroes for this one. So saints cannot earn heroes when resurrected, even though with a low enough sinometer. And untouchable, so sins cannot be punished or treated in hell. Buildings to earn currency, so they're really not going to do anything, and there's no shaboinking. So essentially, they are breakable just through sitting around in waiting lines. But that's again something that we won't worry about. We'll just sort of let things sort of develop. It's probably just going to keep on getting an easy road through hell over time, which is not really a big problem. Anyway, let's just unpause again. Now, they can be useful in the game, not so much for us. It's not going to matter. Here we go. It's just showing us now this saint.
Oh no, a Humu has reached sainthood. Unfortunately, that has a chance to happen when they get resurrected with a very low sinometer.
Ugh, dirty saints. I can't stand the sight of them. Everyone hates them. You can't punish them, they are resistant to administrative magic. Heaven Co doesn't even award a hero upon resurrection. What are we supposed to do with them, huh?
Maybe if we do a piss-poor job when handling them, they'll lose their holy patience and, in time, their sainthood.
So your advice is to be terrible at your job. At least that part shouldn't be too hard.
Yep. So we just need to sort of keep them waiting in hell, really. So there it is. There she goes, wandering around. Can't be touched by the corruption stone. How are we going to get up to this number of upkeep? I'm a bit worried about that, although we are now pushing forward again with the pergodollars. We don't have any cultists, so we're not going to get any of the faith coins either. I don't really want to be spending money with that. I don't think there's going to be anything behind here for us. This is where the cultists go. They sort of go down that little area to do their special things, but we don't have any offerings. The food stockpile is good. Mineral stockpile is poor. That's alright. The ruler menu. Again, nothing much is really happening there. if we sort of really need to change things around, we could sort of start to work with the leader, the ruler, and sort of get them to do other things. But they're happy enough just to smell the flowers. It's only down to 11. Oh, that's the Builder's Guild. That's actually not the military. Here's the military. Pristine. 30 of 50 warriors. They're sending them off to do different things. So there's another group back out this way. So they're wandering off with rangers. What are they going to be attacking? Another war glare. This one's only a level 1. So the guys aren't going to have any real problem here. We've just got normal wargs here. And have we got any dire wargs? No, just normal wargs. So none of the guys here are going... Oh, there's one. There's a deviant. His health is too high, though. Lost one. So we'll destroy this. I don't think we've got any war camps on this one, so we're not seeing any... We've got lots and lots of wargs. They're everywhere, but not walkers. Yeah, wargs over here as well. More power structures. Eventually, they'll just sort of keep on expanding out. So these guys are checking things out through here. I think it's just near where we are anyway. Another location there, level 3. It's the other one that we destroyed some time ago. So lots and lots of wargs on this particular map. Again, everything's always a bit different, which is really cool. Well, I sort of played this one for nearly 2 hours. I'm sort of thinking what I might do is actually start to close up this one here. And, but oh God, it's a good game. I really enjoy it so much. I think what I might do is I'll play it for a little bit longer, just on my own, just to try to get these objectives across a little bit further. If anything big happens, I'll start to record it again, and so we're sort of going to end up. So the next session, hopefully, we'll get it finished. But this is typical, I guess, of a standard game, except that you end up with different parameters sort of kicking in. It's going to be interesting with the various deviants we have to then go and deal with. We've now got 6 of them. There's going to be some in hell for sure. There's got to be. No, there still isn't, which is interesting. So the deviants we have just aren't being. They're not dying. So we can't process them. I could actually I could force them into death. Actually, we've now got enough $dollars at this point in time, but we're just coming into night time. But this is okay. Everything is sort of thumping along quite readily now. There's there's one of the little imps. That's good. So at least they're making use of the toilets. Go off and do their own thing. Bit of a queue up in here, which is fine. I'm so happy for them to just have like one extra back and through the side. We're getting heaps and heaps of heroes. So we can start to maybe even, before I even finish, well, maybe I'll start the next one where we actually start to spend some of these heroes, because this is a lot of heroes we actually have to spend in this particular, in the Liber Administratum. So we can sort of get all sorts of stuff. Now we are going to need to get one of each of these ultimately. We've got the 7D Omni-Sin Doctor. This building punishes souls, removing a great amount of random sins and earning $dollars. It cannot punish deviant souls. So this actually takes it to the next level. So what do we need here? That's 25, and we've only got 29. So I can't get that one anyway. I was just thinking that I should rattle through all of these. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So I need 50. We're at 30, we're getting there. We're actually sort of moving on up towards that one to then get this special building. That's going to do even more with what we have. But we may have a look and see if there's other things we want to be doing through here. Increase the amount of $dollars earned when punishing souls. I'm guessing that's probably something we should go and do now. Just to try to, because $dollars has been the problem, so maybe we'll just finish off with that. And we have a bit of a queue up now in here as well. So we'll just keep these. They're now making $11 rather than $10 per sin. So that will start to sort of improve things a little bit. We've got 5 of those buildings. So yeah, it's going to end up, chewing up a little bit more. Which is great. We have another power structure as well. Back over here. This is a different type of, this is a different one. And this one here also kicked in. So I've now got 2 Rockaliciouses. If I just go back through, this one here is a Magmine. So it throws a volcanic rock which explodes and spreads fire and impact. A single click summons a rock in place. Holding and releasing the click in motion will throw the rock away. Longer throws make the rock reach higher power tiers. If the rock does not hit an entity, character or structure, it stabilizes and turns into a landmine. Okay, so there's all sorts of different stuff we can do with this one through here. So we've got different ways of using those. These spells are great. These as well, the zaps are very, very cool the way they sort of work. Now we've only got 3 different types. I've got 4 of those in total I can make use of. I've got 2 zaps that I can make use of. The zaps are probably the most useful of those, to be honest, because you don't have to control them. You can just sort of move them off in whichever way you want. Anyway, we'll sort of let them all... We've got another reward chest. So we took over this particular location. There's another reward chest there. We've got a few of them. So if I had heaps and heaps of zaps, I could just make use of those. I can use this, but you can see we haven't replenished our faith coins at all with what we're doing. We've now got lots and lots of Purga dollars. I don't want to be spending these just yet because we're now going to be going through and spending all of those. So we've now got 3,000. We've got a good way to sort of start the next day. I'll see how I go. We've got 6 deviants. I do want to just keep on mindful of when they do come into hell. If they do, if we do need to sort of process them. So all of these are sort of wandering off. Some of these are going to be quite high, but at the moment, this is now queuing up fairly dramatically. That one there doesn't know what he's up to. He's very, very fearful. He's got nowhere to go. This guy's on a break. None of them have leveled up, unfortunately. I thought they would have by now. Power Shrine ready over here as well. So we're picking up more and more with the Rangers. The Rangers are sort of finding more and more for us. So we're getting a lot more. That's another Magmine one. So we've picked up a second one of those, which is awesome. Anyway, guys, I'm going to leave it here. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.